I caught my wife cheating in our basement. Then she lied in court to save herself. She was moaning in my basement and still wanted to stay married. Hey man, I hope you're doing well. I've been subscribed to your channel for a while now, and I've watched probably every video you've ever uploaded. I used to think, nah, that could never be me. But here I am, writing in with my own story because it was me. I didn't just get cheated on, I got played like a damn fiddle, and the whole thing blew up in a way I still have trouble wrapping my head around. My name's Jay. I'm 34 from the Midwest. I was married for 4 years, but honestly, the whole thing feels like a scam in hindsight. The woman I thought I knew turned out to be someone else entirely. I caught her cheating in our basement with some dude I'd never seen before in my life. But the way it all played out and what I learned after is what really messed me up. Let me start from the beginning because I want other men to hear this and maybe avoid the mistakes I made. How I met her and the red flags. I ignored. I met my ex-wife, who I'll call Sabrina, at a friend's party. She was outgoing, beautiful, and honestly, she had this energy that just pulled people in. She laughed at my jokes, asked me real questions about my goals, and told me she wasn't like other women. She said that phrase, "I'm not like other women," with such confidence that I believed her. That was red flag 1. Red flag 2 came 3 months in. I noticed she still had her ex's number saved under a fake name. I only found out because she was texting a lot late at night, and I got suspicious. I asked her about it, and at first she lied and said it was a co-worker. Later, after I pressed her, she admitted it was her ex, and that he had been trying to win her back, but she wasn't entertaining it. I should have walked then and there, but she cried. She told me she was just scared of getting hurt and that she didn't know how to let go of people from her past. She swore she'd block him and cut all contact. 2 weeks later, she proposed to me. I'm not kidding. We were having dinner and she pulls out this little box with a titanium band in it and says she wants to spend the rest of her life making things right with me. She said, "I want to be your wife. I want to erase the past." And like an idiot, I said yes, because back then I thought redemption was possible. I thought she was making a grand gesture because she loved me. I see now that she just didn't want to lose a guy who treated her better than she deserved. The first 2 years, I won't lie, those first 2 years of marriage weren't bad. We moved into a small but nice house, got a dog, even started trying for kids for a little while. She made me feel like she had matured, and I let myself believe she'd changed. We were building something, or at least I thought we were. We had our ups and downs like any couple, but nothing that made me feel like the marriage was crumbling. She made an effort. She cooked, she cleaned, she planned trips. She told me she was lucky to have a man who never gave up on her. What I didn't know was that she never stopped cheating. I had no idea that while I was working overtime, she was entertaining guys she met online. I didn't know that she had a burner phone hidden in the house. I didn't know that the same woman who said she wanted to erase the past had never really left it behind. The day everything blew up. It happened on a Saturday afternoon. I was supposed to be working a half day, but things got canceled and I headed home early. I didn't call or text. Figured I'd surprise her with some takeout and a chill movie night. When I got home, the dog was barking like crazy. That wasn't unusual. What was unusual was the faint sound I heard as I stepped inside, moaning. At first, I thought she was watching a movie or something, but it wasn't coming from the living room. It was coming from the basement. I walked slowly toward the basement door. I wish I could say my heart dropped, but it was like my body already knew. I opened the door and took a few steps down, and that's when I saw them. She was bent over the old couch we keep in the corner, fully naked. He was behind her, pants halfway down, going at it like he owned the place. And she was moaning like she was starring in a film. I stood there in shock. I couldn't move. I didn't say anything for a good 5 seconds. Then I said her name. They both froze. She turned and screamed. He jumped up and This is the part that still haunts me. Pulled out a gun from his jacket and pointed it at me. I put my hands up and said, all right, I'm leaving. He yelled something about me being a psycho, and I backed up the stairs. I didn't even argue. I just walked out of the house and sat in my truck, trying to process what had just happened. The aftermath: police, jail, and a bailout. She came outside 10 minutes later, fully dressed, crying and begging me to let her explain. I lost it. I didn't hit her, but I did yell, loud. I told her she was disgusting. I told her she broke me. I said things I'm not proud of, including that I wanted to hit her. I didn't, but I said it. I regret even speaking those words. A neighbor called the cops. When they showed up, she told them what I said. They arrested me for threatening her. I spent the night in jail. The next morning, I found out she bailed me out. Can you believe that? After everything, she bailed me out. She said, "We can still work through this. I know I messed up, but this doesn't have to be the end." I just stared at her. She expected me to thank her. Divorce and the truth. As soon as I got out, I filed for divorce. I had never felt more disgusted in my life. And over the next few weeks, the truth started unraveling. She hadn't just cheated with that guy. She had been cheating since before we got married, with her ex, with random dudes from Tinder, even with a coworker during her lunch breaks. I got all this from a friend of hers who had finally had enough and told me the truth. This woman even had folders of old screenshots and photos saved from when Sabrina would brag about juggling men. I realized that I had married a woman who never really stopped being in the streets. She just changed costumes. When we had our first court appearance, she cried in front of the judge. She told them she didn't want to press charges and that she was scared at the time, but that I was emotionally abusive. She painted me as controlling, cold, dismissive. None of it was true. I never raised a hand to her, never cheated, and always paid every damn bill. She told the court she wanted to reconcile. She said she believed in second chances. But second chances don't mean anything when you've been cheating the entire time. Her lies my pain. What really tears me up is the question: why did she want to stay married if she didn't even want to be faithful? She couldn't answer it. I asked her directly one night when we met to exchange paperwork. Why? Why did you even marry me if you were never going to stop cheating? She just cried. She said, "I thought I could change. I really did. But I don't know what's wrong with me." I do. She's selfish. That's what's wrong. She never loved me. She loved the version of herself that looked like she was a good wife. She loved being posted on Instagram. She loved telling people she was married, but she never respected the marriage itself. Where I'm at now, it's been about 9 months since everything happened. The divorce was finalized 2 months ago. I moved out of the house and got a new apartment. The dog's still with me, thankfully. He's the only living creature from that time in my life that didn't betray me. I've been in therapy. I've also been hitting the gym consistently. Not for revenge, but for healing. I don't date. I'm not interested. I'm learning to enjoy my own peace. She still tries to message me from time to time. "I miss you. I made the biggest mistake of my life. I'll never find someone like you." She's right about that last part. She won't, because I'll never let someone like her get that close to me again. I wanted to share my story because I know there's a guy out there right now who just caught his girl texting an ex, and he's thinking about giving her another chance. Don't. I ignored 2 red flags. I let her rewrite reality with tears and apologies, and I paid the price. Thank you for what you do, man. Your channel helped me realize I wasn't crazy. I wasn't the problem, and I wasn't alone. Stay strong. Subject: from a basement betrayal to becoming a better man, my redemption arc. Hey man, thanks again. So I figured I'd write a part 2, because there's a chapter of this story that's even more important than catching her cheating in the basement. It's about what I did after everything fell apart, how I stopped being a broken man and became something better. If the first email was about betrayal, this one's about rebuilding. I'm not perfect. I still have days where I feel bitterness or regret, but I can say now, confidently, that I am not the same man who got cheated on. That version of me died the day I walked down those basement stairs and saw what I saw. What was born after is someone I never thought I had the strength to become. Let me tell you how I got there. And for the young guys reading or listening, pay attention, because I learned these lessons the hard way. Rock bottom is a good place to start. The first few weeks after the divorce filing were dark. I wasn't eating right. I lost a ton of weight, not from the gym, but from stress and depression. I couldn't sleep, couldn't focus at work, and I'd randomly break down crying in the shower. That's not easy to admit, but it's real. What people don't always talk about is the shame. You start asking yourself if you were the fool. How did I miss the signs? Why didn't I walk when I caught her talking to her ex years ago? Why did I let her propose to me and believe it was love? I hated myself more than I hated her for a while. And that's dangerous. But here's the thing. When you hit that low, that nobody's coming to save me low, you're in the perfect position to start over. No ego, no illusions, just reality. So that's where I started. Ground zero, rock bottom. And I told myself one thing every single day: I will not stay here. The gym was my therapy. Before I could afford therapy, I didn't go back to therapy right away. I was stubborn. I thought I could tough it out. And maybe that wasn't smart, but what helped in the meantime was the gym. I started going every morning at 6 a.m. Didn't matter if I slept 3 hours or 8. I showed up. At first, I could barely lift. I was weak physically and mentally, but the reps helped me focus. When I lifted, I wasn't thinking about her lies, or the man with the gun, or the court hearing. I was thinking about form, about breath, about showing up. 6 months later, I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize myself in the best way, not just because of the muscle, but because of the fire in my eyes. For the first time in a long time, I respected the man staring back at me. If you're reading this and you just got cheated on or betrayed, hear me out. Start with your body. It's the only place you have to live. Build it. Take care of it. You can't heal a broken heart in a broken body. Therapy, accountability, and the adult man. Eventually, I did start therapy, real therapy, with a licensed professional, not venting to friends, not posting quotes on Instagram, real, uncomfortable, ego-killing therapy. And you know what my therapist told me? You talk about her like she's a monster. But where were your boundaries? Where was your self-respect? That hit me hard, because as much as she was the cheater, I was the one who ignored the red flags. I gave chance after chance. I let love blind me to reality, and that wasn't noble. It was weak. He told me, Jay, being a man isn't about enduring disrespect. It's about setting the standard so high that no one dares to disrespect you. So I started changing the way I thought about everything: love, loyalty, even masculinity. Masculinity isn't about being loud or aggressive. It's about self-control. It's about purpose. It's about knowing your worth and walking away from anything that doesn't honor it. No dating, no distractions, just discipline. Here's another thing people kept asking me. Have you started dating again? Nope, not even close. I made a vow that I wouldn't date for at least a year after the divorce, and I stuck to it. I had a couple women flirt with me, and I even had a woman from work shoot her shot. But I said no. Why? Because I was still detoxing from dysfunction. I needed to get my soul right, my habits right, my mindset right. I didn't want to bring my trauma into someone else's life, and I didn't want to use a woman to avoid facing myself. A lot of dudes jump into dating right after divorce to prove something. But that's like drinking salt water when you're thirsty. It just makes you worse. I focused on discipline. I woke up early, ate clean, read books, worked out, saved money, paid off debt, and rebuilt my sense of self. And slowly, I stopped waking up angry. I stopped thinking about her. I stopped dreaming about revenge or closure. I didn't need it anymore. My advice to young men: become uncheatable. I want to take a second here to talk directly to the young guys out there. You want to avoid what happened to me? Become uncheatable. Now, let me explain what that means, because it's not about controlling someone else. You can't stop someone from cheating. If they're going to do it, they'll do it. But when I say uncheatable, I mean this. Build your self-respect so high that the moment someone disrespects you, they lose access to you forever. Don't ignore red flags just because the sex is good or you're scared to be alone. Have purpose in your life that isn't attached to a woman. Know your value. Know what you bring to the table. Be okay with walking away, even from someone you love, if they show you who they really are. A woman can only betray you if you stay after she proves she doesn't deserve you. Don't stay. Don't wait for proof. Don't wait for them to cry and say they'll change. Don't get engaged to prove to yourself she's loyal. Leave. Leave the first time she lies. Leave when the words stop matching the actions. Leave when you find out she's talking to her ex and hiding it. You are not her rehab. You are not her father. You are not her emotional punching bag. You are a man. Live like one. The day I finally let go, I'll be honest with you, there was a moment where I almost gave her a second chance. It was after court. We were in mediation for some leftover financial stuff. She sat across from me in a navy blue dress, hair all done, makeup just right. And she said, "Jay, I've never stopped loving you. You are the best thing that ever happened to me. I made a mistake. Please, just let me show you that I've changed." For about 5 seconds, I felt that old version of me. The one who fell for the proposal, who believed the tears, who thought he could fix her, come to the surface. And then I looked her dead in the eyes and said, "No, I'm not that man anymore." She cried. She stormed out. She called me cold. Said I'd never find someone who loves me like she did. I hope not, because that love damn near killed me. The woman I am now willing to date someday. If I ever do date again, and I say if, because I'm genuinely good on my own, it's going to be on my terms. I'm not looking for a woman who's perfect. I'm looking for a woman who's accountable. Someone who knows what loyalty actually means and doesn't think emotional cheating is a gray area. Someone who has healed herself before trying to share her life with someone else. I've learned that most relationships fail not because of bad people, but because of unfinished people, broken people, unhealed people, people still craving validation from the world. You can't build with someone who hasn't built themselves yet. That's why I've spent this whole time building me. The final twist, her karma. I wasn't even going to include this, but I know some folks like the closure. A mutual friend recently told me that Sabrina's life isn't going so well. Apparently, she tried to get serious with the guy I caught her with in the basement, and he ghosted her. She tried getting back with her ex before me, but he's now engaged to someone else. She's renting a small room in someone's basement, ironically, and working 2 part-time jobs because she quit her old job thinking the guy would take care of her. He didn't. I didn't smile when I heard it. I didn't celebrate. I just nodded, because what goes around always comes back around. And the same way she built lies in my basement, she's now stuck in someone else's, trying to rebuild her own life. In closing, you're not broken, brother. To the man who's listening to this, maybe in the gym, maybe alone at night, maybe with tears in your eyes, hear me. You are not broken. You are not weak because you love someone who didn't deserve it. You are not soft because you gave your heart and got it stomped on. You're human. But what you do next, that's what will define you. Don't waste your pain. Use it. Use it to become the strongest, most grounded, most unshakable version of yourself. Use it to level up in silence. Use it to build a life so good that peace becomes your revenge. I'm Jay. I was betrayed, arrested, humiliated, lied about in court, and I came out of it better than I've ever been. You can too. Thanks for reading, man. Stay sharp.